All right. So this whole 30 FPS conversation has reared its head again. Asmongold on Twitter made a comment where he says about Dragon's Dogma 2, I don't know how console owners are accepting 30 FPS. How are you accepting of 30 FPS? It's crazy. Now, I think this comment is really strange because many of you know I'm a big proponent of come to PC. Come to PC. I say that. I make these videos. I show you guys prices of how you can get a PC that's going to beat your console for the price that you're going to pay for your hardware and your subscriptions. Because on PC, we don't subscribe to any kind of online whatever. If you're going to play your game on Steam or Epic Games or wherever, nobody expects you to subscribe on top of that. So with your subscription fees and your hardware fees, you can build a PC that beats the hardware. This is a reality. This is a fact. I'll keep a link in the comment section for you with a $700-800 build. Run the numbers if you want. However, when it comes to this statement that Asmongold made, I think he has skipped over the reality that even PC players for Dragon's Dogma 2 are going to accept 30 FPS as well. Those of you who've already seen the PC requirements, you already know this. If you look at the devices and the gear that they're asking for, that's going to give you only 30 FPS for the most part, you'll realize that, yes, this is not exclusive to only the consoles. Even the PC version of this game is going to most likely run at 30 FPS on most hardware. And for those who play on console, I know many have expressed their displeasure saying, if this game is not a 60 FPS, I don't want to play it. But you have to understand now you're in the, you're close to the PC terrain. Actually, you're in the PC terrain, and I'll explain that to you. The components that make up your CPU and your GPU in your consoles, Series X or the PS5, are made by AMD, a hardware manufacturer for PC parts. Now that you're using their hardware, the architecture in that hardware is pretty much what they sell on the commercial grade. They've just made a custom version for the PS5. Now that you have that custom version for the PS5, it's only going to be able to play games at a specific performance level. Regardless of what your hardware box said to you, when it said 4K 120 FPS or whatever it said, the game would dictate what that hardware is going to do. So you are now going to have to accept what your machine, which is your console, is capable of doing. It doesn't mean you should buy the game. Don't get me wrong. It just means you could say, well, my console's not going to play it at 60 FPS. And this is what PC players have always done. The only difference, though, is a PC player has the option to go ahead and change just minimal items in their device to be able to then push them to the other part of the conversation in terms of performance. But on the console, you're locked in. You cannot upgrade that APU or the RAM modules, the VRAM modules, because that's the way it's built, in a closed ecosystem. However, you have the option to sell it and buy a PC. And it's usually one game that makes gamers do that. I moved from the PS4 to a PC because I saw the way the Division 2 looked on PC. The Division 1, looked on PC, and I was like, this looks really good. So I started playing on PC, and I was like, man, I don't know if I want to go back and play, much anymore on the PlayStation 4 because the performance was just so cool, and I was already making content, and I like computers anyways. I mean, I mess with them, I build them, and all of that stuff, and so that was a no-brainer for me. So everybody has their different circumstances, and so if this means you're going to skip Dragon's Dogma 2, it's not just going to be only you. There will be PC players as well that are going to be skipping it because their hardware doesn't meet the standards that they want. And so when they're ready, when they're good and ready, they'll play Dragon's Dogma probably at a cheaper price, and they'll probably have the hardware to go ahead and play the game. It is what it is. It's just that now you've stepped into the age where you're now using PC machinery inside of your device, and you're now starting to see the reality that PC players, and you're feeling the pain that most PC players have faced for a long time. And I've seen a lot of people make it to be like some kind of insult and say things like, well, on PC you have to still go ahead and upgrade your hardware every 2 and 3 years. Well, you're not using that kind of hardware, so you may have to go start upgrading your hardware every 2 and 3 years. So maybe the PS5 Pro can give the extra boost and whatnot, but it's all game dependent. So it's possible that we may be able to have that with that extra juice that the PS5 Pro might have. But if you're going to go buy yourself another $500 console at this stage that is still going to be locked, requiring you to buy a new hardware, that's the whole hardware itself, when in reality you could buy a better machine, then, you know, that's your choice. But again, you have to live with the reality that you're creating, because hardware moves very fast in the way that it changes and the way that it advances. That's my video. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you guys' time and audience, and hopefully we'll talk in another one. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Peace out.